There's a brand new musical interactive experience out there. It's kind of hard to just sort of wrap this in the word video game. It's called Sayonara Wild Hearts, and Annapurna found something very special in this game, which is developed by a company called Simogo, and it's available for a multitude of platforms. In fact, you can play this if you sign up for a free month of Apple Arcade. You can play this for free on your iPhone or Apple TV or iPad through Apple Arcade. So I've been playing on an Apple Arcade, and I've also been playing it on the Nintendo Switch. Two terrific platforms to play a game that really does an incredible job of dropping you into this sort of vector-based music video. You play a young woman who transforms into the Fool from a tarot card, and you get wrapped up in this trippy musical, basically this pop musical, where you're diving in and avoiding all kinds of objects and picking up all kinds of hearts and battling gang members who are riding on motorcycles or riding on top of mech wolves. And sometimes you've got blasters on your vehicles. Sometimes you're just sort of navigating and avoiding things. Sometimes you are flying through space. Sometimes the environments around you are warping in time and to the beats of the music. Sometimes you feel like you're high and you're bouncing off of giant mushrooms. This game is a trip, and the music is completely enveloping and lush and wonderful. I first had experience with this game at a pre-E3 event, an indie night, where a bunch of games were shown off to a bunch of journalists covering the stuff that's coming up for E3, and this game took center stage, and there were people crowded around the television set. And then I saw it again at E3, which was a much more personal experience. I put headphones on and I just played it on a Switch, and I couldn't believe the instant escape that this game provides. And then I've been playing this alone, but I also played this with my 5-year-old nephew, and both of our minds were blown by this perfect crystallization of light and color and speed and music and sound effects. It's just an unbelievable trip. It's not very long. It's not especially challenging. It doesn't sort of chastise you for having difficulty with any specific section. You can skip ahead whenever you want. So you're going to be able to kind of flash through this game in a few hours, but then you can go for a lot of sort of collectible elements to unlock new modes and find all the goodies within the game. It's eminently replayable, and part of it is dependent on whether or not you like the music. I really like the music. It's not like I'm a pop music aficionado or I love this kind of stuff, but it certainly speaks to 80s synth pop kind of stuff that I grew up with. It seems to be a pretty popular kind of sound these days, but it dips right in there. And I have really been enjoying the music. It's made by Jonathan Ang and Daniel Olson, and there's a singer in there, Linnea Olson, not related, different spelling of Olson, but it all just comes together, and there's a great mosaic of different tunes that are interwoven with your exact experience with it. And if you have to repeat a section, the game does something really cool where it just sort of rewinds instantly, so you never feel like you're out of the loop or out of the rhythm, and you're pushed along. The game is just incredibly luxurious and transportive and wonderful, and I can't wait for a VR version of this thing. You just know that there's actually a VR section in the game where they kind of tip their hat to the VR craze out there, and one of the characters has a VR headset on and you feel like you're flying through space. It feels like a real tip of the hat to a lot of the work that Tetsuya Mizuguchi has been doing over the years, the synesthesia kind of movement that he has within his games. It definitely reminds you of Rez. There's elements of Tetris Effect and the sort of music connection to it, and Lumines, Space Channel 5. It echoes a lot of stuff that we've seen before, and it's not like technology that is so mind-blowing. We've seen streaming tech coming at us, but it's wonderfully crafted. It's just a really, really elegant piece of art. You've got to check this game out no matter what machine you play it on. Sayonara Wild Hearts is a true treasure. I've been impressed as hell by this all the way along, and it's just a real treat to be able to have this and to play it and to replay it and to share it with people as well. It's a beautiful experience. Sayonara Wild Hearts is definitely one to track down and play on whatever machine you get to. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.